Hello, this is Bill Steffen. Thanks so much for coming to my little corner of the internet here. We got a pretty good day coming up for you. Most of the day should turn out to be dry. The best bet for rain today will be during the afternoon in areas south of Grand Rapids. Some rain will try and poke up from the south from Indiana. The farther north you go, the better the chance you have of seeing a dry day today. So we'll take a look right now at an interesting picture here. This is from the Michigan City GLERL camera, Great Lakes Environmental Research Laboratory. They have a camera up on the lighthouse there at Michigan City, Indiana. You are looking west toward the sunset, and what you can see in the distance there is the city of Chicago. It's about 40 miles away, 41 miles away, so you can still see that there, which is really kind of interesting. And I want you to look just to the right of the arrow. You can see what looks like some white clouds there, just right about at the level of the top of the skyscrapers there. So let's go to Chicago and see what those are. This is a picture from the water intake at Chicago. And what happens is Chicago and all the skyscrapers there kind of creates its own weather. What happens is you get this moist northeast flow coming in. The lake is cold, so the high humidity here. The air is forced to lift. Northeast wind will lift the air to get over the skyscrapers there. And as it does, it condenses out. And this doesn't happen every day, but once in a while, you will see a layer of low clouds that develops here. And it can be, the sun can be shining at the ground level, and then you take the elevator up to the top of the Sears Tower, and you're in the middle of the fog. You're in the middle of a cloud. And what's really neat, sometimes that layer is right in the middle of the skyscrapers. So you can have clear, well, not clear, but you can see an overcast if you're on the ground level, but the visibility is pretty good. Then you go through a layer of fog, and then you come up to the top, and you get into the sunshine. So kind of interesting weather that skyscrapers produced over Chicago here on Saturday. Well, let's move on and take a look at severe weather for Sunday. No moderate or level 4, level 3, even no level 2s today, which is good. We got two areas where there's a level 1 marginal outlook. The one on the left there is in New Mexico, and they've been dry. They had a dry winter, so they could use the rain there, and hopefully with just a level 1 severe threat, that really wouldn't amount to too much. But there's a chance that we could see a little bit of hail or some gusty winds and some of the thunderstorms out there in New Mexico. And then we have another area from right along the East Coast there, from southwest Pennsylvania down to northeastern North Carolina and along the coast to around Miami, Florida. Pennsylvania has just been rocked by severe weather over the past week or so. I mean, that's been the place to be. Not Oklahoma, but Pennsylvania. Western Pennsylvania has seen several rounds of severe thunderstorms. And in fact, I just checked a minute ago, and they still have just a slightly under 60,000 customers without power in Western Pennsylvania. And that is the most of any state in the United States. So hopefully they'll stay dry. Taking a look at the severe weather outlook area here for Monday, we've got that yellow area right there in Texas where they'll be getting more thunderstorms, possibility of a little bit of flooding there. But we have a level 2 risk in West Texas there where the yellow color is, and then surrounding that, there's a level 1 marginal risk. There's 2 other marginal risk areas, one east of Cleveland in Pennsylvania once again, and another one along the east coast of the Florida peninsula. So that's not too bad. This is normally the time of year when you get the best chance for severe weather, and that is mainly or often down in the southern plains states here, where they're going to be getting that down in Texas. Well, we're going to take time out and take a look at our brief timeout for our sponsors here, starting with Complete Care Concierge, LLC.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself. by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
And thank you, Ace, for being our sponsor. Chance of rain mainly this afternoon and mainly south of Grand Rapids. Much of the day will turn out to be dry from Grand Rapids off to the north. But if you're south of Grand Rapids, rain could be moving up from the south-southeast, kind of a different direction. Normally we get weather moving west to east, but this time it'll be coming from the south-southeast up toward Grand Rapids out of Indiana and Ohio. A shower is possible here Monday and Tuesday. Not an all-day rain here. It wouldn't last too terribly long, but that is a possibility. And the best news I have for you, dry weather is expected here for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We have the two big parades over in Holland for tulip time. Right now, it's looking dry for both of the parades. It should be a fantastic time to go and see all those tulips. And there are a lot of them in bloom, I'm told, this year. So that would be a good thing to check out. We've had pretty much average temperatures here, and so they haven't come out too soon. All right, let's take a look at rainfall. Ooh, look at Texas. Wow. I mean, that's normally a dry area, almost a semi-desert. But, boy, from eastern New Mexico through North Texas, the Panhandle, Amarillo, Lubbock, Midland, down to the Dallas area. They got the golf tournament in Saturday, which is good. They had a beautiful day for that. But you can see a second area of rather heavy rain, Pennsylvania, New York. New York City is going to get quite a soaking, probably an inch of rain for them. And where is it going to be dry? Well, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, some places that will stay dry here over the next 3 days. And once again, in the higher elevations of Colorado, we're looking at some snow with a 66-hour snowfall total, with some places there picking up over half a foot of snow in the mountains. There's still some people skiing. And by the way, today, this Sunday, is the last skiing for Michigan up at Boyne Mountain, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They'll be on the Victor Glacier up there, they call it, and they still have plenty of snow after near record snowfalls, and a great ski season for northern lower Michigan, and pretty good season down here in the south as well. All right, let's go on and take a look at some temperatures and whatnot for the day today. We should struggle up to 60. This is one of those strange days where it may be warmer north and cooler south, as the clouds will be a little thicker as you go toward Indiana. The coolest place to be will probably be down along the Indiana-Ohio border, and the warmest place may be up toward Ludington, where the northeast wind will not be coming across the lake. And so the chance of a shower, and the best bet for that would be during the afternoon. Humidity until the rain starts won't be too bad. Winds northeast touch brisk at times, 10 to 20 miles an hour. So let's take a look now at some of the temperatures for the next couple of days here across the area. These are high temperatures for Sunday. And as you can see, again, a little bit warmer to the north where you have that yellow color there, and a little bit cooler as you go off to the south. 53 there along the Indiana border for a temperature. That's down toward the Hillsdale area there, 53, 54, and 63 for Ludington. So a little bit of a flip from what we normally see. Up in the UP, snow is going to be melting what's left of it up there. There's still a couple places with some snow on the ground, but they've managed to get through a very heavy snowfall total without getting any real serious flooding. And so that is certainly some good news. Monday's temperatures look like this. I think we can get back up into at least the low 60s for Grand Rapids, maybe for lucky even mid 60s. But you can see the cooler air streaming off of Lake Huron with the northeast wind. And see the northeast wind, or the east wind cooling things off in Wisconsin. You can see the green color there where temperatures will be only in the 50s with the wind coming in off the water. Well, let's take a look at the 5-day forecast now. Chance of a shower, a little bit of rain this afternoon. Again, the best bet for that would be south of Grand Rapids during the afternoon. About a 50-50 chance of a shower Monday, about 40% on Tuesday, 30% on Wednesday. probably only about 10% here on Thursday. Temperature is pretty close to average. Average high temperature for today is 66. So we're a little underneath that here during the early part of the week, and we should crawl back up to 70 here during the day on Wednesday. Long-range outlook, not much change. It's been singing the same tune here for the past, month or so. The core of the above-average temperatures will be off to our west out in parts of the Dakotas and Minnesota. Temperatures will top 80 degrees. And it will be a little closer to average down across the southern U.S. where there will be more clouds and showers. In terms of rainfall, we're in the dry area here. I think rainfall for early May is going to be a little bit below average for much of West Michigan, and we can handle that. That's okay. We don't like droughts in July and August when the corn's growing, but if it's a little bit on the dry side here in May, we can get the planting in without a lot of standing water in the fields and whatnot. Above average rainfall expected in the southeast and also in the western United States. So that's interesting. So let's look at our forecast here. This picture was taken on I-96 close to Ionia early Thursday evening, May 1st. We were heading back, Sally says, we were heading back to Grand Rapids from our grandson's graduation from the University of Michigan. What type of clouds are we looking at? Well, that's very interesting. First of all, congratulations to your grandson's graduating from the University of Michigan. And I actually took a moment. I saw this picture earlier, and I took a moment to check the weather observation from the Ionia airport at about 7 o'clock in the evening on May 1st. And it turns out that there were 3 separate layers of clouds, a lower cumulus deck, a little bit of a mid-level deck too, and even a few high clouds scattered about. So we got cumulus on the bottom. We've got what looks like alto cumulus up around 6,500 feet, and a few cirrus clouds, which would be up above 15,000 feet. So got a little bit of everything there, and you got some blue sky poking through in the middle there. And of course, the road is dry. It was a good trek home. So, Sally, thanks so much for sending that in. And you can look at the 72 hours worth of weather observations are available at the National Weather Service site. At I don't know what it is exactly offhand here, but you just query for the Grand Rapids National Weather Service, and then there are some buttons up there, and you click on one and you can look at observations and see what the observations were and what the cloud heights were for the past 72 hours, which is kind of cool to look at. All right, what else do we have here? Grand Rapids Symphony, May 4th, 2 p.m., a Star Wars concert, and I think you can watch the movie and they will play the music to go along with it. It's a neat experience. So if you're looking for something to do, especially with the kind of clouding up in the afternoon a little bit here, check out the Grand Rapids Symphony, a great symphony for a city our size, and they will be showing you Star Wars here, A New Hope in concert, starting at 2 o'clock. That is at the DeVos Place downtown, or it's at the Van Andel Arena, at the Van Andel Arena is what it says. Check on that, okay? Yeah, it says Van Andel Arena. All right, awesome. May 4th, 1847, a little historical note here. Michigan is the first state to abolish the death penalty except for treason. In 1964, no death penalty became part of the Michigan Constitution. So that's an interesting historical note. And something else kind of connected to this, I believe there's another slide here. What was the second U.S. state to abolish the death penalty? Interesting. I guess I would think it would be a northern state, maybe a northeastern state, Pennsylvania, maybe Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Let's see what the answer is. It is Wisconsin, which abolished the death penalty in 1853. So that's interesting. Interesting historical note. And of course, that was May 4th here that Michigan observes that anniversary. All right, let's go on to the next slide here. And I think we have some sports trivia for you from Michelle. How many times have the Chicago Cubs won the World Series? Well, I know that I grew up in Chicago, and rooting for the Chicago Cubs was like rooting for rain to fall up instead of down. They went all that time without getting in the World Series. Bonus if you know the years. Okay, the last one they won was either 2015 or 2016, and then before that you have to go back to the early 1900s. I'm thinking like 1904, 05 or something like that. But it was over 100 years that the Cubs did not win a World Series. So that was kind of interesting. All right, let's look at our answers here and see what we come up with. 3 times the Chicago Cubs have won the World Series, back-to-back in 1907 and 1908. I actually had a bet with somebody that about when the Cubs would win a World Series, and I should try and collect my $5 because they did win in 2016. Yeah, it was 2016. Wrigley Field is an iconic place to play. I remember when my father first took me to a Cubs game, and I was a little kid. I was like 7, 8 years old, and we watched the Cubs games on beautiful black and white, one of those screens that were like 12 inches or so, and you had to take all the tubes to Walgreens to find out which one wasn't working, if your TV wasn't working or something like that. But the voice of the Chicago Cubs was Jack Brickhouse, and he lived in my hometown of Wilmette, Illinois. And I used to ride my bicycle past his house to see if I could see him, and I never did. I never did see the guy, but I remember there was Jack Brickhouse, Lloyd Pettit, Lou Boudreau was on the radio. And Ernie Banks was my hero, not so much because of baseball, because he was so darn happy all the time. Ernie Banks was, he'd get up there and say, "Oh, what a beautiful day. Let's play 2 today instead of just 1." And he was, they called him Mr. Sunshine. And my daughter, number 1, went to a party at his house when she worked in Chicago once. And she was just like in awe of this guy. He's a great guy. He passed away a little while ago, but really Mr. Cub, he was called. And you can go on YouTube and you can see his 500th home run that Jack Brickhouse made the play call on that hit out to the bleachers, and it was pretty cool. Okay, let's move along here. Don't want to take up too much of your time. How many times have the Detroit Tigers won the World Series? Bonus if you know the years. It's probably about the same as the Cubs. Not too many. I would guess maybe 4, 5 maybe. And bonus if you know the years. Well, the last year was 1984, and I don't know. Going back before then, there was a long stretch since they had won. Going back, I don't know. I know the Tigers were good back in the 1930s. But 84 was the big year, and they're doing well this year. They're doing all right. Whitecaps are doing good. You know, it's kind of neat. All right, let's take a look at the answer here. How many times have the Tigers won the World Series? Yeah, 4. That sounds good. 35, 45, 68, which was back when I was in high school, and 1984, which was the big year. So we're overdue. You know, what is it? 16 and 25. That's what, 41 years. Yeah, it's time to have a World Series win in Detroit. It really is. And the Lions, of course, the Lions are doing much better now and are fun to watch. All right, let's move along here. Thank you for helping us get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. We're having so much fun doing this, and we appreciate your support. And you pass this along to your friends. You can get the day's forecast. You can get a lot of trivia about what happened on this day, some interesting information about Michigan, and things like what's the busiest road in Grand Rapids. It's not 28th Street, I'll tell you that right now, but we'll have that for you one of these days too. But we've had a lot of fun. I don't think we have missed a day with these videos since we started doing them back in the first week of January. Now, that's not to say we're not going to miss a day here somewhere. I've got my trip coming up to the Canadian Rockies with holiday vacations coming up July 19 to 28. So I assume I won't be doing videos. I'll be doing the tour, and as the host of the tour, I will have duties to perform and keeping everybody happy. So that will be fun. We'll be going to Calgary, Banff, Lake Louise, Jasper, taking a beautiful train ride down to Vancouver, and then crossing over to see the Bouchard Gardens in Victoria, and coming back into Seattle before we head home once again. I will miss my cats. Fortunately, my wife is coming with me, but I will miss my wonderful cats who are upstairs waiting for me right now to come back up and give them a treat or two. But thank you for helping us get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And we have one more thing for you, I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe more than one. Our photos, Michelle took this maybe, I think, Birmingham, Alabama. They had a good thunderstorm come through, and there it is coming in from the west. That is a shelf cloud. And if you were to look at that on time lapse, you might be seeing that cloud roll over like this. And if that were the case, it would be called a roll cloud. But about 50,000 customers lost power. There was winds. It was a lot of lightning with that storm and some heavy rain as well. And there's a secondary tornado alley. There's the main tornado alley that runs from Texas up to Oklahoma, all the way up toward western Iowa and eastern Nebraska, maybe southeast South Dakota. But there's a secondary tornado alley that runs from central Mississippi up into northern Alabama. And you get some really big storms in the anywhere from late winter to early summer. So interesting storm. Michelle told me all about it. And do we have another photo to share with you? And we appreciate your photos, by the way. This is from John Scully. And we appreciate John's pictures. This is over by Lake Michigan. He's between Muskegon and Grand Haven, and so he can head in either direction there. And that would be a sunset, I believe. But he sends us sunrise pictures as well. There are some cirrus clouds there in the distance, so the sun giving a little bit of a horizontal light there as it shines through the ice crystals of the cirrus clouds. Well, we have, I believe, come to the end of our program here for today. Thank you so much for staying with us till the end. Hope you have yourself a fantastic Sunday. And once again, have a great day.